President Duterte cited for his declaration on the martial law. So, sandali ha, sitang buanga. Okay, pakishare lang po ha, sandali lang, give me 10 seconds. Kabuangan. Okay, sandali lang. Kadyut lang kayo, kadyut lang. Okay, so I know all of you monitored also the hearing, pero it's getting boring ba. So I said let's hibernate diri sa ta sa tuang live sa Real Talk. So let's visit the law. Article 7, Section 18 of the Constitution states that the President, as the Commander-in-Chief in the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and whenever it becomes necessary, may call out such armed forces to prevent suppression of violence, invasion, and rebellion. So in cases of invasion, rebellion, when the public safety requires for it, he may, for a period of not exceeding 60 days, may suspend the writ of habeas corpus. Katong kuan ba? Warrant of arrest kung nahulihin and declare martial law. Within 48 hours, the proclamation of martial law and the suspension of the privilege of the writ, the President shall submit a report to Congress. The President can at any point extend based upon the concurrence of the Congress. Let us go back to the basics. Ganito, dami ang sinasabi sa mga tao na ayaw sa martial law, pero hindi naman sila taga Mindanao. Ang sa akin lang ba, basic pa rin. I research on the revised penal code, sandali ha, hindi to masyadong technical. Improved knowledge to sa atin kasi ako ni-research ko to. Kung hindi ko to ni-research, hindi ko rin to malalaman. Hello, Mr. Glenn Fabian, Dalia Nipchon, John Carmel Villalon, hello. Rose Libertino, hello. Criminal Law, Book 2, Title 3, Crime Against Public Order. Article 134, Rebellion or Insurrection. Element, number 1, that there would be public uprising, taking arms against the government, with force and violence. Number 2, the purpose of the uprising or movement is either to remove allegiance of the government or territory or part of the country thereof, or any body or land. Person liable for rebellion. Any person who promote, who maintain, who heads a rebellion. Any person who hold public office, takes part therein, engaging war against forces of the government. Pero dito talaga ako na may basihan ang extension ng martial law. Any person merely participating or executing the command of others in rebellion is part of conducting a rebellious act. Success is immaterial, whether they remove the head of state or they grab the land area successfully or not, but the purpose is always political. Rebellion use the object of movement completely to overthrow or supersede the existing government. Ito ang sinasabi dito ha. Rising publicly and taking arms against government, there is an actual participation. What happened in Marawi was actual participation. At ganito pa, rebellion cannot be complex with any crime. The distinction that, furthermore, it is, makinig kayo, furthermore, it is a continuing crime, along with such the crime of conspiracy and proposal to commit rebellion. Again, it is a continuing crime, such along with the crime of conspiracy or proposal to commit such rebellion. Meaning, rebellion is not only the physical violence of carrying of arms, actually nagpatay. Rebellion includes a continued process wherein, for instance, you are giving material to those group who conducted the rebellion. You are giving support. You are actively be a front to their propaganda. You are in complicit with them so that they will continue with their desire for upheaval of a state. Continued process. So, even if Marawi was subdued, the fact that as per intelligence, there are still pockets of forces actively recruiting people, actively realigning forces para to fight the government. That means it is not only an imminent threat, it is an actual continuing process. Hindi naintindihan at ayaw intindihin kasi gusto lang i-block. Ang tanong ko, kayong mga obstructionist sa extension ng martial law, what personal capacity do you have to assess that martial law extension is unwarranted? Because the resource persons were there. The facts that they gather is from the military intelligence. If you are challenging the facts that they presented, meaning hindi kayo naniwala sa intelligence, what personal capacity do you have to assess? We live in an evidence-based world. We just cannot use our sense of yung personal na kuro-kuro. Dapat may basihan. Kung hindi ka taga Mindanao, lalo ka nang walang personal knowledge, personal experience, at personal inputs how martial law is really needed in the area. These insinuations, unfounded fear nila na ang mga karapatang pangtao ganito, ganyan, those are unfounded fear. It is a wrongful concept of martial law. They always derive that the martial law declaration will create abuses of the human right, will perpetuate Duterte to power. They forgot that the Marcos martial law has different framework based on 1935 Constitution. The 1987 Constitution, of which Duterte cited, is very transparent that it has safeguard. Kaya nga ang Pangulo hindi lang siya katulad sa time ni President Marcos na walang limit, sarado ang Congress, sarado ang judiciary, the police are sila ang police, sila ang huwis, sila ang prosecutor, sila ang judge. Ngayon hindi. These are the balancing act. Kaya nga bumalik sa Kongreso at asking their permission. Hindi naintindihan, unfounded fear talaga. Sabi ko, hindi na nagising sa katotohanan na yung pag-iisip nila sa martial law ba, very primitive, a wrongful perception. One thing, I went to Davao last, July, August. Ganun bang martial law na nagparty ang matao, kain ng barbecue sa tourist na barbecue doon hanggang alas 3 ng madaling araw hanggang alas 4. Wala. Life is normal. Magpa-picture pa nga ako sa mga tangkiligira. I mean, that was yung insinuation ng mga against sa extension ng martial law has no basis due to unfounded fear at very preposterous. Yung sinabi din ni Drilon na what is the assurance that it won't be a precedent na ma-declare to the whole country daw. Is it a signal na ma-declare sa whole country? That was irrational proposition. What basis do you have? I mean, that has malice na sabihin na precedent na ba ito na i-declare sa buong bansa? If the element is needed, then so be it. I mean, kaya nga ako, I trust the wisdom of the president in doing so. Kasi ang martial law na nakikita ko pagpunta sa Pilipinas, parang very normal ang buhay. Mindanaoan per se, as per the statistics, are pro-martial law because it is an added blanket of security. Ironic that those people that were not from Mindanao are the ones vehemently blocking the martial law. Like what I said, what personal capacity do you have to assess that martial law is unwarranted? You are not from there. You did not believe the intelligent inputs. Saan nyo kinuha? Base mo lang sa ano mo, sa pag-iisip mo. Unwarranted thoughts, subconscious mind, because of your lap-sided belief from the Marcos martial law. That is wrong. You need to be logical. Hello to Putri Irene Bari. Princess yan siya sa Maranao sa Iligan. How are you, Putri? From Alberta, Canada. Indaitan, Efrenting. So, kung sinabi nila na there is an actual rebellion, there is an actual insurrection, or or the safety of the state calls for it, nakalimutan nila that rebellion is a continuing process. The element of carrying arms, the element of course, shooting, but it doesn't have to follow na may patayan-patayan. Yung pag-organize ninyo, pagpapropaganda, pagkoleksyon ng mga donasyon kung sino ang nag-finance, paggawa ng mga materials against sa gobyerno, actual na yun, na continuing process, pag-realign ng forces, pag-recruit. They did not realize that. Kasi, by hook or by crook, they want to prevent the martial law to be extended. For what reason? Because of unfounded fear that the martial law will create human rights abuses. Yung sinasabing reported human rights abuses, saan yun? Hindi ko man yun nabasa. And one thing, the most people that could really decide if martial law should be extended or not are from the people in Mindanao. Kaya nga sabi ko, ironic na ang taga Maynila, hindi taga Mindanao, yun pa ang ayaw sa martial law. You didn't walk the path of the people in Mindanao before you decide and impose your judgment to them. Diba? You don't have the moral ascendancy to, but the law is very clear that for extension or even declaration of martial law, it's the Congress, both House and the Senate. Bisan og member ka nga sa Congress, taga-Luzon ka, but as long as you're a member, you can decide. But for me, no, those people have the actual right to decide for themselves are the people in Mindanao. Why do you have to impose judgment to the people of Mindanao when in fact you are from Ifugao? Diba? Sabi ko, huwag kayong makinig kayo sa sentimento ng mga tao. Huwag ang sariling pananaw. Kasi walang basihan ang sariling pananaw ninyo if you are challenging the inputs of the resource person, because that inputs came from the intelligence department. And you asserted your stance on that and your personal belief on that. What personal capacity do you have, Risa Ontiveros, to decide that martial law should not be extended? The question is, Risa Ontiveros' inquiry is very elementary. What is the threshold of public safety? There is no boundary for public safety. As a state, you are the protector of the people. You have to make sure that order and public safety is at hand. Ganun yan. Hindi na iisip. Sus, kabubuhan, bakit pa kayo nagsenador? Wala talaga. Juliet Filgendra from Iligan. Yes, they favor martial law. Kiber Kusia is watching. Hello. Joyce Monsanto Pisidas. Secure ang Mindanao sa martial law. Jason Racoma, tama, ayaw nila na maano ang NPA. See? Darwin Cassius Gomez. Yeah. If they cannot really decide on that, or they were reluctant, I don't think so. It will be passed, I believe. Let's have a plebiscite. Tanungin ang mga tao sa Mindanao kung ayaw nila o hindi. I am sure na manalo ang buto sa martial law. I mean, what is the assurance that removing the martial law hindi ma-strengthen uli ang forces ng mga rebelde? The BIFF in Central Mindanao has been attacking on a daily basis. Mauti has sympathizers. The NPA is there. The Abu Sayyaf is still there, And kung tanungin pa, sabi ni Kiko, bakit noon sa mga masakir, sa mga walang martial law dineclare? Isa lang ang sagot ko. Kasi, ang presidente mo ay walang bayag. Walang political will. Takot. Right now, we have a leader that will gonna use anything at his disposal under the law to utilize. Hindi na hindi na-realize ba? Kaya ako pro martial law extension. Kasi it is within the bounds of the Constitution. Right, Mr. Mark Polintan, kumusta? Nagbakasyon sa Maynila. Vanessa Balaga, hello. Si Rimika Gonzalez. It is within the bounds of the Constitution. This is my challenge to those opposed to martial law. Choose. If you are very stubborn, the President is asking something within the bounds of the Constitution, stipulated Article 7, Section 18. If and when you prevent the extension of martial law, the President may at any point declare the worst thing that that Trillanes feared. And what is that? Revoke. See, wala nang choice eh. Ayaw niyo ng legal, dito tayo sa illegal. How's that? Lalong magkalit-silitsi kayo, di ba? So if I were you, ibigay ang anong legal na hiningi sa Pangulo para sa bayan. Hindi man yan para sa kanya. Para man yan sa mga tao. The fears that you created in your mind has no basis. That he may perpetuate himself to power. That the martial law will be declared in the entire nation. That ayaw na nga ni Duterte magpresidente kasi napagod na siya, matanda na siya. Puro pag-iisip na walang basihan. Puro haka-haka. We are 2017. We live in an evidence-based world. Yung haka-haka ninyo ay walang basihan. Bakit kayo matatakot ng martial law? Part ba kayo sa Mauti? Sympathizer ba kayo ng Mauti? Sympathizer ba kayo ng mga NPA? Terorista ba kayo? If none of the above, then why so? Why are you so afraid and vehemently blocking on the first place? You don't walk the path of the people in Mindanao. Kaya ang sinabi ko, the people has all the right to decide on that ay ang mga taga Mindanao na lawmakers. Majority of them are pro martial law extension. Kayo na hindi taga Mindanao, ayaw niyo ng martial law. Bakit? Nakatira ba kayo doon? You don't care because your life is not affected. Right? Wala talaga. Walang pag-iisip. It doesn't mean that you are an opposition. You will be an obstructionist. You have to be a constructive opposition. Kung para sa kayuhan, butaranin mo. The martial law of Marcos has no safeguards, unlimited power. Congress was closed, judiciary was closed. This Duterte martial law, all of that is not being removed. And even at any point he wanna extend, he can always go back to Congress. And if somebody challenges it at the Supreme Court, it can always go to the Supreme Court. And if it will be revoked by the Supreme Court, it is final and executory. The President cannot set aside the revocation. That is the safeguard in the 1970 Constitution. There is the right of habeas corpus is suspended with only 2 crimes: the crime of rebellion and sedition. Other than that, no. And there are court of laws to afford the person for trial, and the right to bail is there. Wala yan sa Marcos martial law. Everything is eradicated. Kaya nga, what are you afraid of?